Getting a camera for photography or video can be confusing and potentially very expensive. On this channel, I focus on the budget end of the camera market. So in this video, we'll look at the one camera body and one lens I would buy if I was starting again. And to answer that question quickly, what I've gone for is the Sony ZV-E10 camera and the Sigma 18 to 50mm f2.8 lens. But why this camera and lens above all others? Well, I've had to think about a few important factors: cost, versatility, and quality. So, bearing that all in mind, let's first talk about the camera and why I chose the Sony ZV-E10. This, of course, was a big decision, because I wanted something I'd used myself so I could recommend it personally, wasn't too expensive, has newer features, and has good image quality. So straight away, this ruled out some classic options. I love both the Sony a5100 and a6000 because they are both extremely budget-friendly options. But however, they are both starting to show their age, with a lack of 4K video, slower autofocus, and lacking important features such as a microphone port. In 2023, I just couldn't go with them. The Sony ZV-E10, in comparison, has all these features: 4K video up to 30 frames per second, as well as 1080p video at 60 frames per second and up to 120 frames per second for slow-mo. Now, whilst the ZV-E10 will cost around $700 new, and that's with no lens, now the camera is a couple of years old, there's finally a second-hand market for it. And with a bit of shopping around, I've found them selling for as little as $485, which is a superb price for this camera. The ZV-E10 is compact with a decent, if not amazing, built-in microphone, but also has a microphone port for an external mic. It has a headphones port and has picture profiles such as S-Log and Cine, which help make your video in particular look much more professional. It has a lot of new end features for a budget camera. Now, of course, it does have some downsides. Its lack of electronic viewfinder can be frustrating in bright situations, but its lack of on-body dials and controls can make changing modes quickly a little clunky. So in that regard, I would definitely say it's more focused towards a video creator's camera. But as you can see from the examples throughout this video, it is still a good camera for photography. I use it for photos still quite a lot. Importantly, it does have digital stabilization built in, which is very handy when using a lens which doesn't have stabilization, which is very important when it comes to the lens we've actually chosen. For a full in-depth review of both the camera and the lens that I've chosen in this video, please check out the full reviews on my channel. And if you're enjoying this one, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel, as it helps me out a lot. Now let's talk about that lens. Now, this was quite a tough call, as there were a lot of good options here at a range of prices, whether it be prime or zoom lenses. But ultimately, I decided that if you were going to choose just one lens, which would be the most useful? And with that, I landed on the Sigma 18 to 50mm f2.8. Whilst there are faster lenses out there with a wider aperture, such as the Sigma 16mm f1.4, the fixed focal length of that lens can make shooting with lenses with as wide a field of view as 16mm quite limiting. So that's why a zoom with still a decently wide maximum aperture of f2.8 fits the bill for a one lens setup. It's a massive improvement on the 16 to 50mm kit lens which can come with the camera, but also covers a similar zoom range, meaning you can buy the camera without the kit lens and jump straight in with the Sigma 18 to 50. So the price of the Sigma 18 to 50 brand new is $540, which clearly isn't that budget friendly. However, with a bit of shopping around, I found it for as little as $390 used. So of course, it's always worth looking out for deals and discounts, and I bet with a bit of shopping around you'll find it cheaper than I did. This lens provides sharp image quality for both photos and video, and the low light performance is a decent upgrade on the kit lens. And the aperture is wide enough to provide smooth out of focus backgrounds. The lens is also compact and travel friendly. As mentioned, the lens doesn't have stabilisation built in, which can make your videos shakier, which of course you don't want. However, paired with the ZV-E10, you can stabilise your footage well using the active steady shot built into the camera. Or you can go even further and use Sony's stabilisation software, which is called Catalyst Browse. For a full video guide on how to do this, you can check out my video about it here. There are, of course, alternative lenses which I considered which may better suit your needs. The Sigma 16mm f1.4, which I mentioned before, is a super sharp lens which is fantastic for photography and video. But I didn't go with it because of that wide 16mm focal length, which makes it unsuitable for lots of types of shooting, such as portraits. I'm also a big fan of the Sony 18-105 f4. This is a much bigger lens which has an excellent zoom range and is very sharp and is a video powerhouse, as well as having the added bonus of stabilisation built into the lens. However, its large size, large price and relatively narrow maximum aperture of f4 made me rule this one out, though I do like this lens a lot. So together you can pick up this camera and lens for the total price of $875 second hand. And to be honest, as time goes on, these prices will only get cheaper. The Sony ZV-E10 and Sigma 18-50mm f2.8 is a great compact video which is versatile for all types of shooting. The zoom range of the lens makes it suitable for landscapes and portrait photography, as well as stuff like street photography. It's also great for videos such as this one. In fact, for this entire video, I've used the combo of the Sony ZV-E10 and Sigma 18-50mm. So I'll leave links where to buy this combo new in the description. But as I mentioned, picking it up used will likely be the cheapest way to get this setup. Do you have this camera and lens combo? Let me know in the comments. But if you've enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel and dropping a like on the video, as it helps me out a lot. But until next time, see ya.